सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। दयाकरं दयाकारं दान्तं धर्मप्रवर्तकं प्रणमामि दयानन्दं मदाचार्यवरं परम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च। We saw earlier the two kinds of examples. One connected to Agni, the other one connected to Vayu. And what was the example? The example was, just as the Agni takes on the form of whatever it burns, and the Vayu takes on the form of the container wherever it goes, similarly the Atma also, being one and being the Sarvatma of everything, appears to take on the form of whatever upadhi in which it abides. This much we saw. And very straightforward and wonderful argument, because it gives the explanation. What is the explanation for something? That how in some people who are big is there big Atma, in other people who are small is there small Atma. No, Atma is no particular size, and the quote unquote size of the Atma is what? Dependent on what? Size of the upadhi. Size of the upadhi is mistaken to be the size of the Atma, which has no particular size, no particular coloration. And so this upadhistha Atma means the Atma, as though residing in the upadhi, appears to take on the dharma of the upadhi, and then there is some kind of an identification. And what is that identification? Bhranti, born of Bhranti, delusion. So the people attribute the I to the body. For example, I am so many feet tall, I am doctor, I am engineer, that is putting the kartritvam on Atma. I am electrician, I am engineer, whatever you want to say, that's like seeing the Atma as karta and seeing the Atma as bhokta. I am a victim of a lot of injustice. So like this we make this juxtaposition, wrong identity, wrong identification, because of which there is sorrow. And now the important question is, how many Atmas are there? One, without a second, correct? And so all our sorrows, because it is there, wherever there is, whatever there is there, it is there, and all our sorrows are what? Become the sorrow of what? Atma's sorrow. Then if everybody in the world is having a migraine, think of the big headache of the Atma. You can't even imagine that kind of a headache. Terrible headache Atma will have. Atma will need to go to bed. So that is not possible because of two things. One is, whatever the Atma, whatever upadhi the Atma is visiting, so to speak, is abiding in, as it were, is separate from what? Itself. So what is there? Asanga. Atma is asanga, totally asanga, untouched by the upadhi that it visits as it were, like even the crystal is untouched by all the colors visiting the crystal, so to speak. Asangatvam, first thing. And then the second thing is that the Atma is this is a stronger argument. Asanga, all right, but then this is what clinches it. Atma is Satyam and everything else is what? Mithya. Mithya and Satyam don't go together. Like oil and water do not go together. Even if you mix oil and water, nicely shake and put it, that is what is called salad dressing. Okay, oil and water. Yeah. So mix, and then after that you put it on your vegetables. What happens? The oil is separate. Even after shaking so much, the oil is separate, the water is separate. You are a bit shaken up after shaking so much, that's all. So like Mithya and Satyam are like that. You can't be friends with your shadow. Similarly, you can't just sort of take your shadow around and say, I'm coming for tea in your house. Oh, are you bringing some people? No, just my shadow. So you don't do that. You don't even count the shadow. How can you count the shadow when it is not even when it is almost non-existent? Why is the shadow there? Because you are there. You are there. You are the light that is casting the shadow. The shadow is not separate from you, but can you say the same thing about yourself? I have kind of become fond of this fellow, poor thing. Ignored, friendless, I am his only friend. You don't say that. The shadow is totally, entirely dependent upon you, and then you are what? Free of the shadow. So therefore, if the shadow falls in the water, you are walking by the Ganga on a sunny day, shadow fell in the water. And then you say, I better get back to the ashram. Why? I'll catch a cold. The shadow will catch a cold. It needs a towel. It needs to be rubbed off quickly. Look how the weather is changing. No lamentation like that. Asanga, yes, but also two different orders of reality can never, ever, ever, ever mix. So the Atma doesn't mix with anything, anybody, anyhow, anywhere, at any time. Even if you pay it, even if you bribe it, Atma will say, sorry, I'm not going to do this. And you, Mr. Bribe, are mithya. Bribe is mithya, briber is mithya. Somebody is trying to convince that Atma is part of this world, that person is also mithya. And so the Atma cannot take on the sorrows of the world. And when people in the spiritual world, all kinds of things are present. Even gurus will get into this fray, and the gurus will say, some of them, not everybody, and the gurus won't say, the followers will say, such a Mahatma he is or she is. See, they are crying. Guru is crying. I thought it was Sadguru, not sad Guru, So, why is the Guru crying? Guru got bad news from home or what? No. Guru is crying because she or he is picking up your sorrows. And then you feel, oh, so sweet, so wonderful. Guru is crying because of me. Like this, all bunkam, all just a big bluff. Nobody takes on anybody's anything. Now why? The next mantra will do, what should I say, will shoo away all these internalized myths. So Guru takes on your suffering. Guru takes on your pain. No. Oh, why Guru doesn't take on my pain? What's wrong? Guru should take on my pain. People say this. That's the job of the Guru. I have gone to the Guru so that Guru can take on my pain. And you are saying Guru won't take on my pain. Guru will not take on your pain. Why? Because Guru doesn't think you are in pain. And what is better? Should the Guru sit and cry with you? Yeah, sad Guru, sad Shishya. Or should the Guru tell you that there is nothing to cry about? Which is better? Tell me. The second one is infinitely better. It's a choiceless choice. The Guru should not sit and cry. See, you go to somebody for help and that person starts to cry even before you cry. And that's one way, you know. There was one student who came to me, and then she said, I had a very traumatic meeting with my advisor, my professor. I said, what happened? So she said, I'm having lot of pressure from home. My parents want me to graduate quickly. She went to her advisor, you know, because she was feeling stressed, pressured and sad. And then she said all these things. My cat died, I can't get over it. And then something else happened. My parents are putting pressure on me. I'm behind in all my classes. And that professor pulled her in, made her sit down. This is nothing, she said. I am divorcing my third husband over here. All right. and he wants full custody of the children that are not even his. And he wants full custody. Children are mine, not even his. From first two marriages the children are, and he wants full custody. And then do you see I'm having some rashes over here? Come closer and look. And and you know, I've gone to 10 doctors and they are not been able to find out what it is. And then how terrible, because it's just not, is it spreading? I don't know. Do you think it's grown in the last 5 minutes we've been talking? Like this, she told her so many things, and then she said, oh, time for the next appointment. I hope you feel better. And the student said, I feel a lot better. At least I don't have to face with all the things that you are doing. But that's not the idea. Somebody in the place of a mentor, they must not buy into your distress. And the best mentor is who? Atma. And that Atma does not buy into your distress, because it sees through your distress, because it is first of all asanga, second of all it understands everything else is mithya. So therefore Ishvara will not sit and cry with you, Guru should not sit and cry with you, and so because there is no connection between the sorrows of one person or the sorrows of the entire world and the Atma, or the one who knows the Atma. So then, let us see this mantra. We chanted it, but we haven't seen it. So we saw the connecting bhashya, right? Ekasya sarvatmatve samsara dukkhitvam parasya eva syat. Meaning that one person's samsara dukkha belongs to who? Belongs to Atma iti praptam. You know, if that is the contention, ataha idam uchyate. What uchyate? Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshuhu. Na lipyate chakshushair bhakya doshaihi. Ekastatha sarvabhutantaratma. न लिप्यते लोक दुःखेन बाह्यः. Suryah means, here we have to take it as the Surya Prakashah. Not Surya, because Surya is how far? 93 crore million, crore miles away. Surya, it's not Surya directly, because Surya is not in contact with anything anyway. Surya light, we have to take it. Surya, the word is Upalakshana for Surya Prakashah. So what about this Prakashah? Yatha Surya Prakashah Sarvalokasya Chakshuhu. Here Loka doesn't mean Loka, Loka means Lokinaha, people. So the eye of the whole world, the eye of all the people is the light of the sun. Because the light of the sun has to reach the eye, and then only the sight of whatever is there takes place. That is how sight takes place, in the light of the sun. So the sun becomes the Adhishthana Devata for what? Eyes. Sun is the Adhishthana Devata for eyes. This is amazing, a very sophisticated way of looking at things. So the eyes have, so the eyes is what? Eyes are Adhyatma, centered on I. I, not EYE, okay, centered on I, aham, adhyatma. And then what is adhibhuta? The adhibhuta for the I would be so many things, objects of sight, etc., that it perceives. And then that which connects the adhibhuta to adhyatma is what? Adhideva. And what is the adhideva here? Sun. So the sun becomes the adhisthana devata for the eyes. If there are any problems with the eyes, chant Aditya Hridayam. Aditya Hridayam, of course, it was taught by sage Vasishtha to Lord Rama, Agastya to Lord Rama, and then just before the battle with Ravana, he had a little bit of a hesitation, no courage. So the sun here stands for courage, a courageous heart, but the sun also is being the adhisthana devata of the eye. If the Aditya Hridayam, some 33, 34 verses are there, Aditya Hridayam is chanted regularly, then what? You can do, last time when I was in the Bahamas, they had one, what is that called? Vision workshop, how to improve your vision. And so it's a small workshop of some experts in the eye field and all that. And so they kept going like this, up, down, all around. And then you'll see how lazy the eyes are. The eyes don't move at all. So they did eye yoga for 4 or 5 days, and then they ate only some things which are good for the eyes, raw food and all this. And then they invited all of us to their graduation ceremony from the vision workshop. So, and then I said, what are you going to do? They said they are going to take the glasses in hand, go like this, and throw it in the ocean. The ocean is right outside the ashram. So if you chant Aditya Hridayam, maybe that's what can happen to the glasses. Let us find out. Please don't throw them until you are very, very sure. Okay? Yeah. So Surya Prakashah yatha sarvalokasya chakshuhu. So it helps me see, because without sun you will be groping around, going. You will be one of the things that goes bump in the night. Okay, you will be bumping into all kinds of things. Every furniture in the room, even though you know where it is, you will still know it and knowingly bump into it because you can't see it. And so the Surya becomes central for the vision to work, and then the sunlight, what is its job? It is to illumine everything on the earth. It's to illumine. That's all it does. The sun is the great revealer, so the sunlight reveals everything, and then your eyes see what the sunlight reveals, because that's the arrangement. The arrangement is that the external source of light lights up the eyes, and then the eyes then see. Lights up the eyes, lights up the objects also, and then the eyes see. And and what do we see? Here is not the time to say, oh, flowers, butterflies and smiling children. You may be seeing that, but this is not the time to bring that in. And Adi Shankara will tell us why. So what do we see? Terrible things, sad things we see. We see illumined a person beating a donkey just near the ghat. And that poor donkey has not done anything. It is carrying all the burden, the weight and all it is doing. It is trying to move, and then it is just overweighted, and then you see the sad sight of the man beating the donkey. And then what? There is an impression in the mind, correct? There is an impression in the mind. What is the impression? Why do these things happen in the world? What's wrong with him? And then why this poor animal has to suffer? Poor mute animal cannot take revenge, cannot do anything, cannot even express its pain. Why should it have to suffer? There is frustration, there is outrage, there is helplessness, all these things. Even though you may have yelled at the man and said, don't do it, you know very well tomorrow when you're not there, what is he going to do? Same thing he will do, you know very well. And so the mind may be disturbed as you are walking away from that scene which the sunlight has illumined, but then is the sunlight disturbed as a result of what it has illumined? No. So this is with regard to all the doshas. All the doshas, even the chakshu dosha, even supposing there is short sight, far sight, near sight, what else is there? Glaucoma and some kind of degeneration, macular degeneration, all these things are there, these eye conditions. The sun which reveals the eye condition, because of the sun you can see, because of the sun you can see that you cannot see, that is also there. You can see that you are not able to see well. The sun reveals that also. So the dosha connected to the chakshu and the dosha revealed by the chakshu about other things, bahya vastuni. So all the doshas revealed by the eyes, lit up by the sun, do not affect the sun at all. And this is very well expressed in the first verse of the Manisha Panchakam. Manisha Panchakam says in that, it's the famous story of the Adi Shankara meeting what? His guru, who he calls later, this you are a guru, he says, because you have taught me something today. Gacha gacha. Who are you gaching from whom? First the Chandala asks. Chandala means funeral groundskeeper. He has just come from the funeral grounds. So he is considered dirty because in association with dead bodies. Nobody touches dead bodies. So somebody who's been touching dead bodies and putting them on the fire, no. And he is coming to the ghat to bathe. Adi Shankara has just come out from the ghat having bathed. And then immediately, gacha gacha. Far, 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 distance, distance. So first he says, what are you distancing? Your mass of flesh, blood and bones from my mass of flesh, blood and bones? Or are you cleverer than that and you're distancing my Chaitanya from your Chaitanya? How many consciousnesses are there? One. But you are very erudite, you are very learned. So maybe you see two consciousnesses. And then he doesn't stop there. He continues. King Gangambuni, Ambara, something he says, Kim Gangambuni, Ambaramanau, Chandala Vati Payaha, Antaramasti. Is there a difference between the sun that is falling on the sacred Ganga, because this happened in Varanasi, this incident supposedly happened in Varanasi. Is there a difference between the sunlight shining on the sacred Ganga and the same sunlight shining on a little ditch in the backyard of my home? Backyard means in the small lanes where all the poor people like myself live. So there will be potholes, there will be ditches, and then there is one rain and it fills up with water, and then the sun shines, and in this dirty water the sun is reflected. And then here it is reflected supposedly in this Utkrishta water, in this exalted water. Is there any difference in the sun? Did the sun undergo a change? Did the sunlight get distorted? Did the sunlight get dirty? Does the sunlight have to be washed out now? No. Similarly, same thing is expressed there also. And they copied it from here only. All the later writers copied things from the Upanishads without paying copyright fees. Why? Because it's all free. It's all free. And so therefore here also na lipyate. Na lipyate means is not affected. Chakshusaihi doshaihi or and bahya doshaihi cha. So two kinds of dosha are there. So the dosha pertaining to the chakshu itself and the dosha pertaining to what the chakshu sees. What does the chakshu see? Horrible things. Don't count the nice things here, because otherwise it will not be a dosha. Nice things, even if one is affected by the nice things, one doesn't mind. So nalipyate means is not afflicted, is not affected. So ekah tatha, tatha, in the same manner, sarva bhutantaratma, the antaratma of all, sarvesham bhutanam antaratma of all, nalipyate. Nalipyate loka dukkhena bahyah san. So the bahyah here at the end of the sentence in the second line, bahyatvat, because of the nature of it being bahya. That's a hetu. The bahya is a hetu for the no lepanam. So non-affliction of the Atma, the bahya is the hetu. So this is the doubt. So the doubt is that how come how come the sun is not affected? How come the Atma is not affected, just as the Surya Prakasha is not affected even if it enters the dirty atmosphere? And this we can see. On a sunny day, you are sitting in your room and the light of the sun is coming through the door or the window. Along with the light, what do you see? Dust particles. But I just cleaned, doesn't matter, they are still there. I just cleaned the room, doesn't matter, they will still be there. The sun is simply revealing the dust particles. So the dust particles also you see streaming along with the sunlight. Now the question is, do the dust particles belong to the sunlight? Because wherever the sunlight is, the dust particles are. It's very easy to say, if the sun goes away, my room will be clean again. Your room will still have the dust particles. What will be missing? Their revelation will be missing. That's all. And so the dust particles have nothing to do with the sunlight. What is the sun doing? Simply revealing it because it is bahya. It is away from the dust particles. After that, you don't have to dip the sun in a bucket of water and hang it out to dry. You don't have to hang out the sunlight to dry. If you dip sunlight in a bucket of water, what do you get? Rainbow. So, even if that were possible. So then, here the same thing is there. Even though it illumines numerous things, the sun is not affected by anything that is, it illumines, it reveals. This is the whole idea. And then, so the very beautiful example, the Chaitanya is intimately associated with body. It illumines the body pain. It's intimately associated with the mind. What does it do? It illumines the mental and emotional pain. And it illumines everything without getting affected. We have seen another example just like this, which is the movie and the screen. So in the movie there is a big fire, and then if you touch the screen, it is cool. In the movie, people are running, chasing and whatever. Chasing each other and running. Police is running. Behind who? The robbers. Robbers are running behind them. Behind the thieves, the police are running. But the screen is also not running. If the screen also ran, then you would not see the motion. Screen is motionless, illuminer of the movie, projector of the movie. Similarly, the Atma is the projector of all kinds of dramas taking place without taking on the dukkha of the samsara. And Adi Shankara writes a long bhashya here and then makes us aware that what is the cause of dukkha. Very beautiful bhashya. Let us look at it. Suryah yatha chakshusha alokena upakaram kurvan mutra purisha adi ashuchi prakashanena taddarshinah sarvalokasya chakshuhu. Yeah. Yatha Surya, just like the sun, What is that? Through the alokena. Aloka means light here. So the sun here is upalakshana for what? Sunlight. So the yatha surya, what does the surya do? Alokena, because of its light. So the sun is helping everybody's eyes. Chakshushaha alokena. Chakshushaha alokena, by the light that helps the eyes see. Upakaram kurvan, by doing a social service to all the pair of eyes. To every eyes it is doing a seva. And so this is what is the upakara. So upakaran kurvan, what kind of upakara it is? It helps us to see what on the road? Mutra. Okay, mutra means waste, liquid waste. Okay, purisha, solid waste. Like you are walking here, suddenly one cow dung is seen. Correct? Yeah. Cow dung is seen, and then cow dung is seen because of which light? Sunlight. Sunlight does not get affected by the cow dung. Not at all. Neither do your eyes get affected by the cow dung. Even supposing, let's say somebody slips, even after seeing somebody slips and falls in the cow dung, what is dirty? The body is dirty. Not the eyes, not the sun that revealed the cow dung and also revealed the fall. Okay, so see all these, that's why, see, Adi Shankara is so brilliant. All the dirty things are being illumined here. This is I told you, this is not the time for fresh flowers, smiling child, green grass and butterflies. No, because there we don't have any problem with associating with such sights. This is what is distasteful. We don't want to be associated with Mutra, Purisha. Who wants to be associated with? Nobody. Nobody even wants to look at it. But why? Because they are Ashuchi. Adi, Mutra, Purisha, Adi, Ashuchi Prakashanena. So Ashuchi Prakashanena means by revealing all these dirty things, impure things. And then, so Tad Darshinaha means all of us. Okay, because we are seeing these dirty things. So all of us, Sarva Lokasya, Chakshuhu Apisan, Nalipyate, Chakshusaihi, Ashuchyadi, Darshana Nimittaihi, Adhyatmikaihi, Papadoshaihi, Bhashyaihi cha, Bhashyaischa, Ashuchyadi, Samsargadoshaihi. So, when something is next to something, then if it takes on the problems connected to that thing, it is called samsarga dosha. This is a technical term. This is a fallacy, samsarga dosha. So, samsarga dosha means what? Like this, some parents will say, my child is wonderful, but he fell into bad company. The neighbor's child is terrible, and my child associated with the neighbor's child, and they spoiled him. And this is called samsarga dosha. This is, you can see that, So maybe it is true also. Yes, the problem with the first child is what? He went along with it. That is his problem, but doesn't matter. So the child was all right, and the child fell into quote unquote bad company, and then because of the company also became bad, so to speak, given to bad behavior. So this is called samsarga dosha. And then here there is no samsarga dosha possible. Why? Don't say because the sun is 93 crore miles away. That is not the idea. The idea is we are not talking about the sun. What are we talking about? No. Atma. We are talking about this happens when you get too much into the example. We forget the Darshtanta. So we can give a local explanation, We can see sunlight is far away, therefore it is not affected. We can give a scientific explanation. But Atma is what? It is wherever you are, Atma is. It is intimately connected with you and everything that you do. Still, nalipyate dukkhaihi. It is not affected by any dukkha, not even dukkha lesha is possible. And so, what else does it say here? Sarvalokasya chakshuhu api san na lipyate chakshusaihi. Chakshusaihi means belonging to the eyes. What is that? What is belonging to the eyes? The darshana. So the darshana nimitta is belonging to the eyes. And what is the darshana? Ashuchyadi darshanaihi. Ashuchyadi darshanaihi. So the eye of all the people who see the waste and everything, neither the eye is tainted, and then nor the sunlight is tainted. And then also papadoshaihi, like the example given before. The man beating the child or the donkey or whatever it is. The man is beating the donkey by the river, and then that is what is that? Papadosha. He is committing papa because that poor donkey has no way to defend itself. He is whipping it with a stick. The donkey doesn't even know how to carry a stick. Poor thing is standing there taking the beatings, can't even run away because it is weighted down by 2 big bags of all kinds of stones and sand and all these things. From the Ganga they take the sand for building purposes. So this is a Papa dosha. This kind of dosha, when you see terrible things happen, unclean things happen, unclean things you see, and the papa caused by these kinds of sights, and also the papa caused by the impurity of associating with certain things, like setting the feet in the cow dung. You put the foot in the cow dung, and then that feels like papa. It is not, nowhere it says it's a papa to step in the cow dung, but there is a feeling of uncleanliness, and you want to immediately go back and then wash the feet. You have to just take a dip in the Ganga immediately. So like this, the body is affected, mind may be affected, but in the example, the sunlight is not affected. We are only looking at the drishtanta here. The sunlight is not affected at all. So, papa doshaihi bahyaihi ashuchyadi samsarga doshaihi na lipyate adhyatmikaihi. So not only is the samsarga dosha not applicable to the sunlight, it's also not applicable to what? That which is denoted by the sunlight, namely Atma. So have we read all the words here? Yeah. Lipyate chakshushaihi ashuchyadi darshana nimittaihi. So this dosha is because of the contact of the eyes, the so-called contact of the eyes with dirty things, impure things. And then adhyatmikaihi, one's own eyes. And then papadoshaihi bahyaihi cha. So even other papa of associating with certain things, such as what was said earlier, mutra, purisha, etc., there is no samsarga dosha. Why is there no samsarga dosha between the sun and the sunlight and the objects it illumines? Because even though they belong to the same order of reality, there is a difference. The sunlight is what? Sukshma. And the things that it shines is what? Sthula. Even there is a difference. Sunlight is all pervasive. And the unclean things that it lights up is what? Small, pervasive. Confined to a particular place at a particular time in a particular manner it is there. So therefore it cannot affect. So this is another Siddhanta. There is another Nyaya here in the Shastra. That which is small pervasive is pervaded by that which is more pervasive in nature. This we will see in the Taittiriya Upanishad when we study the various koshas. So Annamaya kosha is pervaded by what? Pranamaya kosha. That which pervades is more superior because it is more sukshma and more pervasive. More sukshma, more pervasive, more superior. And so compared to these unclean things which we are made to see by Adi Shankara, and then the sunlight is what? More pervasive, more superior, and what was the third one? More subtle. More subtle because it pervades. And so more pervasive, more superior, and more subtle. The subtle can only pervade something which is gross. And so therefore, even though the sunlight and the objects that it reveals belong to the same order of reality. What order of reality is that? Vyavaharika satta, empirical reality. Both are part of the empirical reality, yet the sunlight is superior, more pervasive, more sukshma, more pervasive. And is not, therefore it is not affected by that which pervades, by that which it pervades. Same thing with Akasha. So there are all the four elements have the capacity to destroy. Like earth can destroy. Earth means khadga. What is khadga? Sword, metals, metal things made of weaponry. Bow, arrow, maybe not bow, but arrow definitely, metal arrow, all these things, they are part of the earth. That can destroy. A sword piercing, that's called stabbing, that can destroy. And then what else? Water can destroy, water can drown, and then water can destroy. And then fire can of course destroy, we know that. Air also can destroy. It dehydrates everything that it is in touch with. It dries it out. And it can destroy. All of them sometimes can destroy each other. The flame, if it is small, is destroyed by the wind and by the water. The flame, if it's a conflagration, destroys the water, dries up the water, evaporates the water. So like this, they are mutual destroyers of one another, but they can do nothing to space, even though the space belongs to the same order of reality. Satyairapi anilagnyambah shastraihi kimuta kalpitaihi. What is that? Advaita Makaranda. Very beautiful observation. That even though they build, all of them are part of the five elements, space cannot be destroyed at all, even by its own colleagues, such as air, fire, water, earth. Cannot destroy space. What to talk of whether Atma can be destroyed. So similarly here, even the sunlight which belonging to the same order of reality is not affected by whatever it lights up. What to talk of the Atma which even lights up the sun. That, Yaschayam Purushe, Yaschasa Vaditye, Sa Ekaha, Saya Evam Vid, Asman Lokat Pretya, Etamannamayam Atmanam, Upasankramati, etc., etc. That which is in the sun, that which is the truth of the sun, that because of which the sun even is, for us to give an example like this. And then, and the same thing is there, I am Purushe, in this Purusha, in this which is in this Purusha, there is that same thing. What is that? Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva makes the body, mind, sense complex animated. Atma Tattva makes the sun shine. And then, Sa Ekaha, that which is there in the sun, that which is there in me is one and the same. This is what we should see, we should say while looking at the sun. And the one who knows this is the one who is a Jnani. The Taittiriya Upanishad says that. And then so here, what to talk of Atma? Even when the sun itself, belonging to the same order of reality, is exempt from being tainted by whatever it's associated with as though, then it is not tainted. What to talk of Atma? So where does this dukkha come? So, but before that we have to read this. Ekaha san tatha sarvabhutantaratma na lipyate lokadukkhena bhashyah. So we can put a little full stop after lokadukkhena, and then Bhashyah. Otherwise, we will start taking Bhashyah as an adjective of Loka Dukkha. Okay, that's not what the idea is. So, the Bhashyah is adjectival to Atma, not to the Dukkha. Okay, it's the Hetu for not being affected. So, Ekah San, being one and only without a second. What is that? The one that animates all the elements and all the beings. Nalipyate. Nalipyate loka dukkhena. So, all the sad people that are there, it just reveals them and then does not get affected. Why? Because it is outside of the scheme of things. Outside means what? Outside means unaffected. Why is it unaffected? Hello, we just told the cause, because it is outside. Why is it outside? Because it is unaffected. No, that is called anavastha dosha, infinite regress. No, the reason it is not affected is because it is asanga. Bhashya means asanga. Incapable of having contact with the things that it illumines, with the things in which it is in association, so to speak, incapable of being affected because they belong to two different orders of reality. So therefore, even in the same order of reality, destruction is not possible with the five elements and the space, etc. And so, similarly, here also, the Atma is not affected by people's sorrows, thank God. Otherwise, there is no place to turn to. But then some doubting minds may ask, how do you know Atma, Chaitanya is not affected by sorrow? Chaitanya may be sad Chaitanya. Ananda is sad today. Yeah. How do you know that Ananda is not sad today? Because if Ananda were to be sad, then who is the Sakshi of the sad Ananda? Yeah, new Swami's name, Sad Ananda. Yeah. Who is the Sakshi? Tell me. You have to bring in one more Chaitanya, correct? And then who is the Sakshi for that Chaitanya? You will have to bring in one more Chaitanya. And then here we are in another maze of infinite regress. So the buck has to stop somewhere. So with the first Chaitanya only, all revealing, we stop there. We don't rack our brains and go down the wrong route. This middle paragraph is very beautiful here because it shows the cause of sorrow. Okay, the sorrow doesn't belong to the body, correct? Say yes, so we can move on. Yeah, because who is going to say this body is sad? The body will not say, hello, this is body speaking, I am sad. No, sorrow cannot belong to the body, and the Atma also sorrow cannot belong. So where is this sorrow? Where is this sorrow? Centered on the eye. But how did it get centered on the eye? Very beautiful bhashya. It says the following. Lokaha hi avidyaya svatmani adhyastataya kama karmodbhavam dukkham anubhavati natu sa paramarthatah svatmani. Yeah. Sa, what is qualified by sa? Avidya. Sanskrit is so easy. Long a, then you look for something else which also has a long a. What is that? Avidya. Right. Lokaha cannot be said sa. Sa means she. All right. And then so there is only one thing. What is that? Avidyaya. So what is the cause of sorrow? So the lokaha, the people suffer. Why do they suffer? From the sorrow resulting from avidya, which spins off into what? Kama, karma, udbhavam, dukkham, which spins off into dukkha. And what are the parents of this dukkha? Kama and karma. So avidya, kama karma, dukkha. This is the family tree of avidya. Avidya first, avidya has a son. What is that? Kama. Second generation, kama cannot sit quiet because kama wants fulfillment. And so the kama's child offspring will be a gopher. Go get me this, go get me that. A person who goes to get something is called gopher. And so what is the child of kama? Karma, action. Because avidya gives rise to kama. Kama gives rise to pressure, vega. Kama krodhodbhavam vegam. We saw that in the Kathopanishad, right? Yes? No. Yeah. In this very 5th chapter, which has concluded, Yashaknoti ihaiva sodhum. What is that? Prak sharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam. That vega, that pressure, I have to have it now, I have to have it now. That pressure makes you do karma, usually wrong karma. So that's why the karma is the grandson of avidya, and these 3 generations, what do they say? They give birth to the 4th generation. Dukkham. Sad, dukkham. They give birth to dukkham. So the 4th generation of avidya family tree is what? Sorrow. We can call it some sorrow or the other, which is samsara. So now the avidya does not belong. So now the dukkha belongs to who? Not the body, mind, sense complex, not the atma. It's magic. How did this dukkha get associated with me? What is the answer? It is not associated with you. This is what we have to understand. And then, because natu sa avidya paramarthatah svatmani vartate vidyate. This avidya is not the property of the Atma. In the Atma, it is not there at all. Paramarthatah means in reality. Truth being told, the avidya has no truck with Atma. Avidya is not a property of the Atma. Atma is not affected by avidya. And then what is it then? How did this association take place? How did this samsarga takes place? This is what is said very beautifully here. Yatha rajju shuktika ushara gaganeshu sarpa rajata udaka malani narajvadinam swatah dosha rupani santi. Yeah. So yatha, just as we take all the things that we are mistaken for other things. Rajju means snake. Yes? No. Okay. Just checking if everybody is awake here. So rajju is rope. Just as the rope, shuktika means shell. Just as the rope, shell, and ushara means a place which has acrid soil where nothing grows, wasteland, Ushara, salty soil, and infertile wasteland is called ushara. Usha means salt, but ra means it has matvarthe in the sense of matup. So that which has usha is called ushara. Generally a place which has lot of difficulty growing things. And then in the rajju, in the shuktika, in the ushara and gagana. Gagana means what? Space, sky. In the space, in the gagana, what do? Sarpa. Sarpa means snake. Snake is projected in the gagana, correct? No, you have to take it kramat, respectively. So what came first? Rajju. Along with that, what is the superimposition? Sarpa. And then Shuktika, Rajata. Shuktika, Rajata. And then what is the next one? Ushara, Udaka. In this dry wasteland, not a drop of water. What do we see? We see water. Ushare, Udakam. And then, so Gaganeshu Mala. Mala. Mala means pollution. We say, oh, space is polluted. Space is polluted? Really? Are you spacing out? The pollution belongs to what? Air, not space. Space is not polluted at all. And so therefore, therefore what happens? So na rajvadinam swataha dosha rupani santi. It is not the mistake, inherent mistake or inherent problem connected to the Rajju, Shuktika, etc. What is it instead? Samsargini viparita buddhi adhyasa nimittat doshavat vibhavyante. Yeah. Na tad doshaha. No, na tad doshaihi tesham lepaha viparita buddhi adhyasa bhashyaha hite. Yeah, very beautiful. So that samsarga dosha he has flipped and made it samsarga adhyasa. Very, very, very deep here. Very nice. So what were we worried about before? Samsarga adhyasa. Like the chili, like the sugar inside your cupboard. The bottle of sugar was sitting next to chili pepper on the one side and then salt on the other side. And it was worried that the samsarga of these two fellows sitting on either side will come to me. That is called samsarga dosha. But here the samsarga dosha is really a mistake. So it is not samsarga dosha, it's not the possibility of one bad apple making another apple also bad. It is a mistaken adhyasa, it's a mistake. It's samsarga adhyasa. Samsarga adhyasa is the apparition by which the red cloth on the crystal makes the crystal look red according to people who don't know any better. Or you look at it from far away, what do you see? Red something, red crystal you see. So this is samsarga adhyasa. Adhyasa means it is my own mistake. So how beautifully he talked about samsarga dosha in the first line in the drishtanta, and he negated that, and then he has made it into what? Samsarga adhyasa totally. And then what is this adhyasa? Viparita buddhi, because it's buddhi here is not somebody's buddhi. Buddhi means cognition, wrong cognition. And taya buddhya, viparita buddhya, adhyasa. This is adhyasa. It's a mistake, it's a projection. It is a projection by the buddhi that is not able to, by the wrong cognition, wrong notions. What are the notions? I am dirty, I am unclean, I have all these problems, I am dukkhi, I am karta, bhokta. This is samsarga adhyasa. More we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Mevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.